Um, hey everyone, I'm going to be doing my presentation from home today. I'm a little bit sick, so if I sound a little bit messed up, then you know why. Um, so the show that I'm going to be doing my presentation, my scene analysis on today, is Invincible. It came out last year in 2021. 2021, and it's an ongoing series, but I think it's been confirmed for a couple more seasons already. And the exact scene that I'm going to be talking about, it's from the first season, last episode, which is episode 8, titled "Where I Really Come From." It was directed by William Ruzicka and written by Robert Kirkman. Um, this is sort of what the main character looks like here, named Invincible. The genres, that this show would be involved in would be superhero, action, adventure, drama, science fiction. And the general overview is that Mark Grayson is the son of Omni-Man, the most powerful superhero on the planet Earth, and has spent his entire life without powers, until one day that finally changes. His powers eventually set in, giving him the opportunity to become a hero like his dad, who is the greatest hero on Earth. But idealistic Mark will soon learn of the complexities to the superhero life, and that reality isn't as black and white as he initially thought. So this scene that I'm going to be talking about is the conclusion of the fight between Mark Grayson slash Invincible and his father, Nolan Grayson slash Omni-Man. The subtext behind this scene attributes to the reveal of Mark Grayson's father being sent to Earth from his home planet to enslave humanity, thus Mark finally learning that his father isn't the hero he grew up thinking he was. um, Invincible has difficulty believing any of this and refuses to let his father enslave people, but Mark doesn't stand a chance against his father in a one-on-one fight, and for the entirety of the episode previous to this scene, he receives a one-sided beatdown. The characters included are Mark Grayson, Invincible. He's the yellow and blue looking dude. Then you've got Omni-Man, Nolan Grayson, which is the guy with the mustache. And then you also have Debbie Grayson, who is Omni-Man's wife and Invincible's mum. I'm going to let you guys just sort of pause the video for a bit, and then you can, play the scene. I'll include the scene in the somewhere, but yeah, anyway, I'll pause. Alright, so hopefully you guys have watched the scene. It's a good scene. The reason why I chose to analyse this specific scene is because I'm interested in how to write more complex character relationships and how to direct them well within an animated property, which this scene does. The colour design in the main character's superhero costumes, the shots/angles used to portray them, the music, voice acting, writing, etc., are all elements that help to establish within the scene the dynamic between the two characters' viewpoints and the relationship to each other, not only in a personal sense, but the power dynamic between them. The first thing I noticed about the scene is how it starts with a low to ground shot with an upwards angle, showing a crumpled and beaten Invincible to the right of frame, and standing above him to the left, his imposing father. The shot itself is a great way to frame the scene and really helps to set the tone and power dynamic between the two central characters. The shot itself adds further value by appearing to make Invincible smaller and his father much larger, which is a great dramatic technique often used in film. The way in which these characters are framed keep their continuity throughout the scene, with Omni-Man always being placed on the left side of the frame. This keeps the scene grounded and coherent, whereas if it was otherwise, it may become disorienting and confusing for the audience. A great transition between shots is the close-up mirrored past and present shot of young Mark's face and as his father holds him up in the air as a boy, and then to Mark's face in the present, now beaten and also missing teeth in the same way he did as a child, which I'll just show you just here. I would also like to talk about colour theory and lighting. Although this being an animated show, the lighting variation is kept fairly minimal because it saves time in the animation process. But there is a clear juxtaposition in lighting between the present day and flashback parts of the scene. In the present day moments, the sky is dark and foreboding, whereas in the flashback, the sky is bright and the general mood is much lighter. This is intentional and helps to separate these parts of the scene. It's a great way to drop the intensity of the situation for the audience and then to bring us back again to really enforce how brutal this fight between the characters is. What's also interesting to note are the colour differences in the costumes for both characters. Omni-Man features a white and red coloured suit, and Invincible has a yellow, blue and black suit. The white and black between the white and black between the two are a great indication of their opposing views, yin and yang, while Omni-Man having the white also adds to his often cold, calm, and collected demeanour, the red indicating something more sinister, the violence he is capable of. As with Invincible, the yellow is indicating optimism, and the blue leans towards trust and order. Both these colours lend itself to a naivety and youth within the hero. Within this scene, the music is fairly subtle, with dialogue taking the forefront and the music itself being used to accentuate specific moments. In the very beginning, the music is quiet but builds up slightly as Omni-Man professes to his son that they, as in humanity, can be a part of something bigger or die, and when his son responds, "I won't let you," his father punches him down to the ground with what is probably the loudest sound effect in the entire scene and is used multiple times. All of Omni-Man's punches have this thunderous sound effect, and immediately after this first punch, the first punch of this scene at least, the music wells up again. There's also a fantastic use of a J-cut, the most important one used in this clip, which is during Omni-Man repeatedly punching his son into the side of a mountain. A ringing sound effect fades in, and to the rhythm of his punches, a baseball bat can be heard a couple of times before we cut to a flashback, which gives context to the baseball sounds. During this flashback, we get some much lighter, hopeful piano music, and then we finally cut back to the present again, where there's no music at all, until a certain point. This is called a dramatic pause, or more rarely, a pregnant pause, and really helps to add drama as Omni-Man starts to realise his own personal struggle and can't find it in himself to finish off his son. To conclude this essay quickly, I want to mention that all of these elements I've discussed go hand in hand with great writing and acting that truly wraps everything together. You got J.K. Simmons, Stephen Yeun, and Sandra Oh, Omni-Man, Invincible, and Debbie Grayson, respectively, putting great work to deliver these lines, and having J.K. cast as Omni-Man is such a great choice because he's always able to bring intensity with just his voice, and in an animated property, it's integral to have that capability as an actor. What makes the scene work so well is the continued physical and verbal abuse from Omni-Man towards his son, not only in this scene, but for the entirety of the episode previously, until he eventually starts to reminisce about raising him. While this finally gets him to stop punching his only child for a moment, he still feels like he might be able to get his son onto his side and is frustrated that Mark won't listen to him. He scrambles to try and reason with him one last time and says that everyone and everything you know will be gone due to the fact that him and his son will outlive humanity due to their powers. He continues to yell, "What will you have in 500 years? And Mark finally responds with a tear running down his face, "You, Dad, I'll still have you." Even after all the pain Invincible is being put through, he still loves his dad. And I just think the emotions in this scene, and it just builds up really well. And it's a really brutal scene and a very interesting character dynamic. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that.